Well, here we go again. Good morning to all my thousands and thousands of YouTube watchers and FM radio listeners, both worldwide and locally. This is, if you don't know already, the Midnight Skeptic. Okay, let's get on with it. This is the Midnight Skeptic, and this is being recorded on Wednesday, 4:30. That's the month and the day, the last day of April. And this will go out to the FM listeners on this coming Sunday, the 4th of May, at the usual time, 9 p.m., Pacific Standard Time. And today, like I say, is Wednesday, and it's the morning. This is unusual for me to record this in the morning, but it's about 10:15 a.m. So let's go. It's going out this Sunday, kpca.fm, worldwide and locally here in Sonoma County at 103.3 FM. And then as soon as I get done doing this recording, I'm going to download it to YouTube, and it will be available like all my other past shows on YouTube for your, dare I say, enjoyment? Dare I say edification? Well, I'm going to say that. Okay. My goal doing this broadcast, as I've stated many times before, is to, in my own small way, to rid this country of all Republicans as they've become now, GOP MAGA heads, far-right conservatives, fundamentalist and evangelical Christians, and proto-fascists, which a lot of them are now. Plus, this is fun for me. It gets out of my system all my stress, all my political anxiety, and doesn't let anger build up in me. And I always go by a quote from the Dalai Lama, and I'll say it again. I've said it before on many shows. Anger is the greatest destroyer of your own peace of mind. It's true. The Dalai Lama knows what he's talking about. I post on my Facebook page every week what are some topics that I will rant about. Post before the rant. The picture of me in my blue Hawaiian shirt was taken about 8 years ago in KPCA's downtown studio. Since then, they've upgraded their technology to allow for their radio personalities, of which I am one, to send in remotely their shows to the KPCA studios. And my tech engineer has set me up in my downstairs office. This is it, my downstairs office. I used to do private tutoring here. I still have one student that I'm tutoring. She's in 5th grade. And I'm not totally finished with tutoring. I enjoy it too much. And anyway, my technical engineer set me up in this downstairs recording studio where I tutor students. He set me up with recording equipment and a good microphone this and a camera. Oh, okay, it's right there. Yeah. You can see my beautiful bearded face. Very soon I'm going to go to Supercuts and get rid of this beard again, so I will look, a year younger, maybe. And so here I am on Wednesday doing this. Fun. Okay, that's my opening rant, and here's my play-in music. You are listening to KPCA LP, Petaluma, California, at 103.3 FM and worldwide at www.kpca.fm. And this is the Midnight Skeptic. The views of the Midnight Skeptic are not necessarily the views of KPCA or any of its affiliates. Gotta say this again. My opinions in my rants are not necessarily the opinions of Petaluma Community Access or KPCA LP 103.3 FM. Okay, so time for shout outs. Okay, I kind of vary the order in which I do these shout outs, but these are businesses and outfits that I want to encourage my listeners out there to check out. Okay, and then as soon as I get done with these local businesses, I will attempt, they're not in my notes, to give a shout out to people, relatives, friends, acquaintances that have indicated that occasionally they listen into this rant. Okay. The La Dolce Vita Wine Lounge, not a wine bar, a wine lounge, owned by Sahar Garai in the downtown Petaluma's Theater District. Nariman, let's go sip some wine there soon. It's been too long. John Crowley at the Aquas Cafe at H and 2nd in the Foundry Wharf area here in Petaluma. And they host game nights now and then, ethnic dinners. Go to their calendar for their community events. John Crowley has established a community of, poets, writers, artists, and various community events. Drinks with Shrinks is one of his events that I go to. They do it about twice a year. Okay, Mickey Huff and Project Censored, promoting critical media literacy. Go to their website and sign up for their newsletter. It's really interesting and informative. And order their State of the Free Press 2025 book. It's out from the printers right now. Mickey has relocated back to Ithaca College now, where he is still the guiding light for Project Censored and is some sort of a communications professor and head of alternative media back there. And Shaylee Voitel is an helper to him. I'm not sure exactly what she does, but out here, Nolan Higdon and Andy Lee Roth, two history professors at UC Santa Cruz, are also somehow involved with Project Censored. Okay. I check every now and then to see if I'm actually recording, and I am. About 10 minutes have gone by. Okay. Ithaca College. Okay. Ralph Scott and Squeaky Cheese audiobooks. If you have a voice for books, a voice for audio things, go check him out. He has a stable of audio thespians that help him put novels and poetry collections on audiobooks. Okay. Tom Gaffey at the Phoenix Theater. He is sort of the godfather for the alternative teen set here in Petaluma. And he has many years of practical experience advising, mentoring, and helping the alternative teens that hang out down there. Okay. Rabbi Ted Feldman, he was the rabbi at B'nai Israel here in Petaluma. And my late wife, she passed away in 2013. She and I used to go down there to his night classes and his Jewish holiday dinners. I'm not Jewish. She was. And I learned an awful lot about Judaism and Zionism. And I'm not religious at all. I'm an atheist, although since I'm a skeptic, I technically have to call myself a agnostic. If someone presented me with incontrovertible proof of the existence of God, well, I would have to change my mind. I'm not holding my breath. After learning about the history of Judaism and the founding of Israel, I'm not a big fan of the Zionist movement. Enough said. I'll talk about that in more detail on a future show, and I've talked about it on past shows. But anyway, Zionism. I don't think it's very good. Anyway, okay, let the local shout-outs begin. Kevin and Lori, Art Kuznets, who I met at B'nai Israel, Dave Takach up in Sacramento. I hope you're doing okay. Tom and Nancy Throw, Rich and Kathy Berger, Tim Munnicky and Julie. I've been forgetting to mention him, but he does listen now and then. He's over in Fairfield. Dennis and Megan down in Tiburon. And my notes are a shambles right here. Yvonne and Rick in San Francisco. Stan and Kathy in Pacifica. Down in L.A., Aunt Jackie and Samantha, kindergarten teacher. Happy birthday, little Dave, her little boy. And Melanie, who listens in occasionally and is the sister of Samantha, but I don't quite know where she's living now. Okay, over to Arizona. My brother Brandon and his wife Mina, their daughter, my niece Andrea, who is a nurse, fine nurse, and her husband Tim, and their 3 little boys. Tim is a retired Marine. Booyah! And up to Arkansas, Shannon Reed. Over to Florida, Nelson and Alice Lydell. He's a retired United States Public Health Department officer. His specialty was breathing apparatuses and face masks. Boy, did we need that expertise back in the COVID-19 days. And then over to the east side, brain freeze time. She is an editor, novelist, mentor to budding writers, and she represents Locus Magazine. And Locus Magazine is over here in Oakland, and they come out once a month with reviews of books and the three genres of horror, science fiction, and fantasy. Amelia Beamer. Wow. Just in time, her name popped back into my mind. Okay, up to Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina. I'm going to have to email Dr. Dave Rubin, retired, the world's absolutely greatest lung doctor, pulmonary physician, whatever you want to call him. He and I used to room together back in the 70s, late 70s, before I met my wife. And he did research on, up at UC Medical Center in the Parnassus Heights campus, endothelial cells in those little alveolar sacs in your lungs. He researched what enzymes they secreted. But anyway, he's retired from all that and is pursuing an artistic career in retirement. Check him out, davidrubinpaintings.com. He has a very unique take on reality. I'm getting a call on my cell phone. I'm not going to answer it. They'll leave a message, hopefully. Sometimes it's a spam call. Okay, up to Long Island, Geraldine Goldfinger, who is my wife's best friend and my late wife's best friend. Okay, all the way back to the West Coast and up Highway 108, up to Sonora, California, my hometown. Robert Finnegan, Bob and Sandy Fisher, and their two progeny, Brad and Martha, Darrell Larson, Judy May, Kathy Francis, and Lynn Quayle, who splits her time between Manhattan and Sonora, a very strange, different lifestyles, really. Okay, and up further, Highway 108, to the quaint town of Twain Harte, where John Gleason lives, and he has two daughters, both of which has said they listen occasionally. Jennifer Gleason, happy birthday! And then Tiffany, who relocated to Colorado and is recuperating from health issues. Okay, and all the way down to Mexico City, Rosamalia Lopez Negrete, who is not a big fan of Claudia Scheinbaum, and I am a big fan of Claudia Scheinbaum. She is standing up to the orange sociopathic bloat bag who is our current ignorant president and is trying to upset the world order. And I hope he's not successful. I hope he goes away ASAP. Whew. Those are my shout outs. And let me take a quick sip. Okay, now to the meat of the show. And that only took 20 minutes, which I'm getting better at this. And I always promised my viewers and listeners that I would start off the meat of the show with good news. Well, I haven't always been successful, but I'm successful on this show. Okay. Good news. Go to Quack Watch. Okay, QUACKWATCH. It is one of the organizations under the umbrella of CFI, Center for Inquiry. They're back in Amherst, New York. That's upstate New York. And they publish the Skeptical Inquirer, which I used to subscribe to up until about 3 years ago. And I'm thinking about subscribing once again, and I encourage all my listeners to subscribe to that magazine. They are skeptical about all things ghosts, reincarnation, UFOs, crop circles, alien abductions, aliens in general, cryptids, and all that kind of crap. But what interests me mostly about their skepticism is their take on complementary and alternative medicines, such as homeopathy, naturopathy, osteopathy, needle sticking. God, I'm having a brain freeze on the name of it. Acupuncture, acupressure, touch for health, Ayurvedic medicine. What's the other one? Reiki. Okay, all of those, in the more or less educated opinion of the Midnight Skeptic, are bunk. All right? And Quack Watch deals with these things. And the Skeptical Inquirer also occasionally deals with these things as well. Okay. Okay, that's Quack Watch. If you Google Quack Watch and then click on it, it'll open up some articles for you to peruse. And Quack Watch, a weekly newsletter called Consumer Health Digest, edited by William London, Doctor of Education, and Stephen Barrett, medical doctor. It is under the umbrella of Center for Inquiry, with a magazine, Skeptical Inquiry, and the Richard Dawkins Foundation, which is also under the umbrella of CFI. I don't think the James Roundy Foundation is in existence anymore. I'm not sure about that. But there's half a dozen or so foundations and organizations that are supported by and encouraging people to check out underneath the Center for Inquiry's umbrella. Okay, deep breath, more sip. Okay. That was milk, and now I'm down to my water. Okay, bad news. Pakistan is getting more and more militant Islamicist about going after blasphemy. 5 people were arrested and charged with blasphemy in Punjab province on Tuesday, the 22nd of this month. A large number of people surrounded a police station in Sajid Sahid Police Station. I guess that's the name of a town near Lahore, demanding police arrest the suspects for distributing stickers that the crowd claimed insulted not the prophet himself, but insulted a companion of the prophet. Jeez. Sections 295A and 298A of the Pakistani Penal Code covers blasphemy. So far, the 5 are still alive. Their life expectancy is probably quite short by now. I will, if I run across an update on this situation, I'll let you know next week. Okay. Bad orange sociopathic bloat bag news. The CDC, Centers for Disease Control, employees fired Tuesday, 4/22, were studying drug-resistant gonorrhea, which is considered an urgent health threat worldwide. No other researchers at the agency have the expertise or the software to continue this work. There are as many as 30 freezers full of samples of gonorrhea organisms that now have no custodians. Quote, "We were just really shut down midair on CDC." One CDC official said, gonorrhea has become resistant to nearly every antibiotic. And the orange sociopathic bloat bags Doge dudes are firing all these people. Oh man, this is horrible. Of course, most of my listeners already know this. Good news. I try. Washington Senate bill, state of Washington, Senate Bill 5375 will force, finally, clergy to report child abuse to police or medical or health personnel. You know, clergy, child molesters. I've said on this show that I'm tired of just talking about individual arrests of clergy and Republican lawmakers. I'm not going to do it anymore. There's just too many of them that get arrested for pedophilia. And it's the Republicans that continually harp about liberal Democrats are indoctrinating and grooming and are pedophiles. Rah, 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 rah. I haven't heard a lot of that much anymore. Okay, thank goodness. All right. Good environmental news. Need a sip of water. Good environmental news. A Filipino scientist has invented a solar panel made from recycled food waste that generates energy without sunlight, just ultraviolet rays from wherever it is gotten. It is named Aureus, Aureus. Look it up online. And it uses ultraviolet light, like I say. His name, Carvey Aaron, Ehren, Maigues, capital Maigues. He's Filipino. And his invention uses bioluminescent particles from fruit and vegetable waste. Great. We need more inventors like that. I'm noticing, maybe it's just on my Facebook page or Facebook in general, but there are more and more young teenage inventors that are creating things like these solar panels, like new ways to remove nanoplastic particles from water. Booyah. And things like that. And they're winning various science awards. But keep it up, kids. Keep it up. Okay. Bad news. I've got to start using my sound effects more since my audio engineer made them up for me. So, bad news. Oops. I got to watch which button I push here. Bad news. Do you remember Virginia Giuffre? She was a young female victim of Jeffrey Epstein and perhaps even more of his guy friends. But she was a victim nonetheless. She has died of suicide over in Australia, where she was living now. She was 41. She died at her farm in Western Australia. She became an advocate for sex trafficking survivors. She got work at Mar-a-Lago, the Orange Sociopathic Bloatbags estate down there. She got work at Mar-a-Lago as a teenage spa attendant. And Ghislaine Maxwell hired her as a masseuse for Epstein, and she quickly became a sexual servant for Epstein and his friends. Well, I'm not sure that term friends, who is all included, but there's rumors floating around. But anyway, she was sex trafficked. There's no doubt about it. And she founded SOAR, SOAR, and I'm not quite sure what that stands for, but it was an organization that helped victims of sex trafficking. Whew, I need a sip of water after that one. Okay. Bad news, strange news. Michael Gloss, Gloss, who's 21, was killed in Donetsk, Ukraine, fighting with Russian forces. He was the son of a senior CIA official, his mom, and an Iraq War veteran, his dad. His father said he struggled his whole life with mental health issues. State Department consular affairs personnel delivered the parents the bad news. He wasn't fighting directly with Russian forces, but with a pro-Russian Donetsk independence force that were themselves pro-Russian. There are certain Ukrainian citizens that have formed a pro-Russian fighting force against other Ukrainian forces. It's kind of confused over there. But anyway, bad news. Okay. Good news, and this is a documentary on Netflix. Pangolin. Okay. And the title of this documentary is Kulu's Journey. Kulu''S Journey. It's directed by Pippa Ehrlich, and she was the director of the Academy Award-winning My Octopus Teacher, which was another great, wonderful documentary about this diver's friendship with an octopus. Okay. Pangolins are on the brink of extinction. One reason is their scales. They're not furry animals. They're scaly animals. Brain freezes. Okay, anyway. And their scales, when ground up and powdered, are considered by Asian traditional medicine. That's another thing that the Skeptical Inquirer talks about and debunks most of it. Now, I'm not saying that all traditional Chinese medicines do not work. They just have to be tested in clinical trials before they're put out to be sold to the public. And few of them are and pass the clinical trials. So I would go out on a limb and say that traditional Chinese herbal medicine is more harmful and useless than good. Not to mention the destruction of animals on the brink of extinction and cruelty to animals. Okay, I'm off my notes. One reason there's scales. Okay, powdered scales, traditional medicine. Okay, to be used to promote lactation in women and reduce swelling. In traditional Chinese medicine, pangolin scales are called squama maritis, Squama maritis. They are also said traditionally to promote blood circulation and prevent tumors. Chinese clinical studies in their own scientific literature show, and this is a quote from them, the Chinese, there is no reliable evidence of clinical value. Here, here. Their own scientists are studying this stuff, but the Chinese government is reluctant to crack down on traditional Chinese herbal remedies. Eventually, well, maybe not, but eventually I hope they just go away. Okay. All right, real bad news, and I'm going to include an anecdote that I was involved in. Okay, misogynistic variety. British racing driver Catherine Legge, capital Legge, I think that's how you pronounce her last name, told CNN Sports that she has been inundated with thousands of hateful messages, death threats, vulgar and inappropriate comments across multiple social media since she entered NASCAR in March. At the moment, she's the only female on the racing circuit. This kind of hate against females in traditional male sports is not limited to NASCAR. Angel Reese in the WNBA said, "I've been through so much," she said through tears. Quote, "I've been attacked so much, death threats, I've been sexualized, I've been threatened." WNBA star Breanna Stewart said that police were investigating homophobic death threats sent to her wife. And the French tennis player Caroline Garcia got an X posting, "I hope your mom dies soon." Catherine is currently the only female on the NASCAR circuit. Her quote, "I think we females stick out more. It's the opinion that we are a gimmick. We shouldn't be there because we are a DEI hire, and we haven't earned the spot." Well, you have earned your spot, she told CNN. The Midnight Skeptic is going out on a limb and saying that those horrible posts on social media are the postings of insecure males that are resentful of females and misogynistic. They are MAGA heads that see in the orange sociopathic bloat bag and the MAGA movement a return to so-called traditional family values. Women are supposed to accept their role as homemakers, quiet supporters of their husbands, not major wage earners, and those not married should be sex objects. Followers of the orange sociopathic bloat bag. To these supposedly hyper-toxic masculine males, they should be top of the pyramid, and the GOP MAGA is their place in society. My throat's drying out. Need more water. They should be at the top of the pyramid, of the MAGA pyramid. It's their place in society. But they are really cowards. Their death threats and sexualizing female athletes are done anonymously. Online, on X and Facebook, They are pathetic examples of real manhood. Now, I told you that there was an anecdote from my own life that I will relay to you. This was a long time ago. It was before I met my wife. In 1972, when I was working my very first paycheck and benefits jobs. Now, I'm dating myself. This is more than 50 years ago. I was working at Payless Drugs in San Francisco, and I decided to go to a night law school, and they were renting classrooms in Redwood City. No, San Mateo, down the peninsula. So I arranged with my manager to take a very extended lunch break so I could go down there and attend this night classes, plural, for law school. And, well, that didn't work out so well. I was just not ready to, right after college, and I got my BA degree, to jump right into law school. And it was tough anyway. But I wandered in this high school. I won't mention the name of it, but I observed their wrestling team working out in the gym. Well, I was a wrestler in high school and 1 year in college. And it was obvious that the coach, as good as he was, hadn't really wrestled competitively before. I mean, he knew how to show them the various holds, probably from his own PE class. But you can tell when a coach, an adult, has just not wrestled before. So I went up to him and asked if I could work out with him. Okay, all right, that's that. But there was the next year, he let me. Yeah, I was happy to do it. The next year, 1973, I still did it. And there was this traveling radio station basketball team from, I forget the name of the radio station. They were from San Francisco. And they were a popular pop radio station who had a couple of San Francisco star high school athletes, a couple of radio personalities, and the radio station staff that traveled around and played high school PE staff and faculty. Okay, well, I was with them, and the starting five, of course, were the PE teachers, and the starting five included this radio station's couple of star basketball players and pretty good players. I don't think they lost very many games to the faculty, but the second unit, of which they put me on, included the principal of the school, some history teacher, myself, and the two female PE teachers. Well, the first units went in, played, second half, or the second quarter, we switched, and the second unit, including me, went in there, and the second unit of this radio station team played each other. And this one incident sticks in my mind for some reason. Let me back up. In 1972, Title IX was passed, which was the opening door for equal treatment of women in sports. And in the locker room, I heard the male PE teachers making jokes about Title IX. Do we have to wear pink shorts now? And blah, blah, blah. And I didn't say anything. I didn't want to, insert my own opinions about it. Okay, cut back to the game. I went up and got this rebound over this black guy that was a radio station teammate. And I looked down immediately, and these two female PE teachers were looking to see what I would do with it. Well, I started a fast break. I passed it way down court. They took off running just like they should to initiate a fast break, and went down and scored along with all of us. And my philosophy at the time, and I enjoyed playing basketball, and I played a lot and got to be fairly good. I play with whoever I'm teamed with, and I remember passing it off a couple of times to one of these female PE teachers and shouting, "Shoot it, shoot it." And she did, made it. And women can play. They are not the fragile little flowers that the males of that era imagined. Gotta check time. Okay. Enough of that anecdote, but women's sports I've always enjoyed watching, and I especially following the Stanford women basketball team. Okay, enough of that. Gotta hurry up. Good news, needed news. The Democrats have just got to get their act together. David Hogg, H-O-G-G, who is the vice chair of the Democratic National Committee and survivor of the Marjorie Stoneman high school shooting, is calling out soft Democratic leadership for not doing more to threat the orange sociopathic bloat bag and his GOP minions. He has formed Leaders We Deserve, an organization, leaderswedeserve.com, an organization of leftist politicians. And please go to their website and check it out and join it if you've a mind to. Oh man, my throat. Okay, here's a new segment. Well, I've been doing it for about 6 weeks now. It's called Crazy Quora Questions. And this one is a fundamentalist Christian type. And I've got to use my whiny voice for this one. It's a real question on Quora. That's a place you can go to ask questions and have it answered, usually without snarkiness. But okay, here's the question. Gravity is just a theory. It's observed. Evolution is also a theory. But there hasn't been a pig turning into a chicken or any real example of evolution. Why do people still believe in evolution? Okay, the answer guy or girl, I'm not sure who it is that answers these, but usually they're very patient and thoughtful. Okay, answer. A pig is not turning into chicken. And theory of evolution doesn't say it should. Many generations of incremental changes it takes to make a species no longer resemble the original species. And eventually, there is a species divergent with two separate species and even more generations, and you'll have a split again. Basically, that's how evolution works over millions of years. And he goes on to very patiently explain to this ignorant Christian how evolution works or should work or does work. Okay. Good CFI News. That's the Center for Inquiry up in Amherst, New York. Center for Inquiry's Office of Public Policy urges the Montana Governor Greg Gianforte. I think he's a Republican. It didn't say in this article. Anyway, they urge him to veto two bills, HB 388, that allows Christian-run crisis pregnancy centers to continue to deceive pregnant women about the center's true purpose, which is to deny women information about abortions. Wrong information usually. And second one, HB 343, which would give public school students, quote unquote, release time during the school day for religious instruction. Sneaky, creepy Christians. And GOP MAGAs dare complain about public schools indoctrinating. Okay, I gotta hurry. Good news, a new organization, the Vaccine Integrity Project, is a group of public health experts and scientists that are mobilizing to counter vaccine misinformation from the orange sociopathic bloat bag federal agencies. Okay, I gotta quit. There's another item. Good news to end the show. More joy down in Houston as the Warriors prepare to win number 4. Steph and Jimmy, the Hoop Gang, I think, will triumph tonight. Okay, that's it. Play out music. You have been listening to The Midnight Skeptic on KPCA LP, Petaluma, California. And we're at 103.3 on the FM dial and worldwide at www.kpca.fm. Support community radio at patreon.com/Petaluma Community Access. And remember, think critically, think logically, but live joyously, and most importantly, pet your cats. I ran over a little bit. It's 58 minutes and 11 seconds, but please, please, please pet your cats.